Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again for watching another one of my videos. Today I want to talk about some bass movement, where you're going to find bass here in the next 2 weeks. Here in northwest Arkansas, like today's in the 70s, this morning was 62. The bass, you can catching them old school, my style of fishing, spinner baits, buzz baits, pitching a jig, catching them up on the bank. I mean, they're moved up right now, pretty much on the bank, or that's the way I've been catching them anyway. Is on the bank, throwing spinner bait, buzz bait, pitching a jig around any wood cover, boat docks, and standing bushes, trees, anything that's close to the bank. They are starting some of the winter drawdown. They've really drew down Bull Shoals. Bull Shoals was a tough bite for a lot of people because they didn't go out deep enough. That's for another video. Anyway, I'm just saying it's still warm here. It's warm in other parts of the country. Up north, you've already experienced some cold weather, and you're already experiencing where to find the bass out a little deeper on bluffs and such. But right now, the bass in this, say in the Ozarks area, you can catch them shallow right now still, like I said. But here in the next couple of weeks, I think tonight's low is going to get down to in the 40s. Tomorrow's highs, I think, was in the 50s, and it's going to be that way. Lows in the 40s, highs in the 50s, maybe low 60s through this Thanksgiving time. We got some rain coming in, got another cold front coming, and that cold front is going to get colder, where the lows is in the 20s and low 30s, and highs is in the 40s. So that's going to drop the water temperature. That's going to affect the bass on where they are going to be. They're going to move, or some of them. There's always be a population of bass that's up shallow, but a lot of your bass are going to move. They're going to move to the closest deep water that's available for where they are right now. Say if you go fish a channel swing bank, it's a bluff bank or a steeper bank, kind of a ledge bank, and then it goes off into a flat or onto a point. And you can catch those fish up shallow right now in that area. But when that cold hits and that water temperature starts dropping, they're going to go to where that bluff is, and they're going to hang out on that bluff end where the water is deep, and the only thing they have to do is go up or down in the water column to adjust to the pressure, air pressure, and the coolness of the water. They can go down in high pressure situations when it low pressure, like it's been the last couple of days, where it's because it's been raining here and the bass have been biting like crazy in the rain, and people catching some good bags. With it being rainy the last couple of days, but when that cold gets here, you're going to want to move onto that bluffier, steeper bank and find what depth the fish are at at the time on that steeper bank. You may have a bluff, you may be fishing a bluff end, and that way you can work out and work down that bluff. You may just be on the channel swing on a point somewhere, or just where the channel swing is, and you may have stair steps going down where that channel swing is. It's just like stairs. It'll come out, drop down a little bit, and come out, drop down a little bit. You can work those stair steps and pay attention to where you're getting your bites on the stair steps and on the bluff end, or bluff, whatever you're fishing. Pay attention to the type of structure that you're fishing around, whether it's rock piles or wood, or if they're just suspended out there over the deeper water. Pay attention to the depth that you're fishing, or where you're getting bit. And if you're fishing a stair step area, pay attention to how deep you're fishing. And then once you establish where the fish are in the water column, you can move your boat in and parallel watch your electronics. You can watch your graph to see where that depth of water is, and parallel the bank. You can throw straight in front, straight behind the boat, and work that depth, and work that stair step, or work that depth on that bluff, wherever you're fishing, and stay at that depth for a longer period of time by paralleling, and that'll get you more bites and get you more fish in the boat. So get ready for the colder weather. Just move with the fish. Like I said, there's always going to be some fish up shallow. With that colder weather coming, they're going to be a little bit more lockjaw for a little bit, because they're kind of going to be in shock. It's been my experience. It takes a little bit for them to get back to biting good after the first hard continued cold. Like I said, it's supposed to be cold here for at least 2 weeks, or colder, and then that 1 week of fairly cold and chance of snow and stuff. That's going to be hanging around from what I hear. So just try to move out a little deeper, find the standing timber, see if they're suspended around that standing timber. Use a jerk bait, use a spinner bait. Still, you can use a spinner bait. I'd go down to a smaller one. That cold is going to hit, and I would use some smaller baits, crankbaits, smaller jigs, smaller crankbaits, smaller swim baits, smaller jerk baits. Just find out what they're wanting to bite on. But 99% of the time, I found that when it first gets cold and they're trying to adjust, that smaller bait's going to be the best. And just work that water column after you figure out their depth, and follow them out to that little bit deeper water, and work those stair steps, work that bluff in, work that bluff. They're going to be on that bluff suspended out there. You may get to go to shoot, I can't think of the name of the rig, but anyway, something you can kind of dangle right there in their face once you figure out the depth that they are, and continue to catch fish. Even though it's getting colder, they're going to move on you, and just be prepared for that, and just follow them. They're not going to move far. They're not going to move a mile. They're not going to move for miles, but they're going to move. They may move 100 yards, especially if there's some deep water close to where they're at. They may not even move 50 yards. If they can get on a bluff, or good stair step where they can just go up and down in the water column, they're not going to move far. They're still going to be there. You're still going to have the same population of fish. You just got to remember to move with them. You got to remember just concentrate on the movements of bass and what season it is, and that's the number one key is for locating bass, is pay attention to the season, to the water temperature and all that, and know your bass movements. Study up real good on your bass movements, and we've talked about that on this channel. Just most all the good fishermen that you'll watch will talk about the movements of the bass and follow them. You know, you don't. It's not like you're going to be live scoping, and that's not what I mean by follow the bass. Turn on a freaking live scope and go out there and chase them around out there in 75 foot of water. I'm just talking about good old-fashioned fishing and getting out there and having fun, and just do your thing, learn the seasonal patterns, and go out there and follow the bass to those areas where they're going to be. Pay attention to the structure they're on, and that will get you fish in the boat. A buddy of mine, he's fishing the Kansas state championship. This is the third and last day. They're on Grand Lake, and he was in first place taking off this morning, and he is fishing old school. Look him up, aspiring angler, tournament angler Chris Johnson, and he's going to tell you how he's caught the fish this weekend over on Grand Lake, and he's fishing his style, and I probably 99.9% know how he's doing it, because I know how I would be doing it if I was over there this week. And he's in first place ahead of all those live scopers, which he wins a lot even against those live scopers, which I think's hilarious. And check out his channel, and he will have some information for you on how he caught them this weekend before this cold front hit. Anyway, I'm getting ready to get the kids. Thank you again for watching. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And y'all have a blessed weekend and have a blessed Thanksgiving. And I will see you guys out on the water.